Good evening and welcome to the Build-A-Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the link of the site, and the Tier 2 blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes or be a lurker. If you don't want to chat, you do not have to. We've got Arctic Sloth here. Welcome, Arctic Sloth. It's Saturday night. It's going to be a chill stream, is my guess. Lashbrook is here. Welcome, Lashbrook. Yeah, I mean, look, I never actually know, Aristfans here, hello Aristfan, what the future holds and, like, what the vibe is going to be of a stream, but, like, I know that, like, the Twitch Stream Awards are happening, and I don't think any of my regulars would be interested in that, but I also think that, like, that's going to be on the front page of Twitch and will probably draw some people's attention before they start going to the category, so, like, the regulars, no sweat. People who might just like click on it to see what's up, they're like, oh, this is the most people watching something from Makers and Crafting. I'll check that out. Like, I don't know. But I feel like that's different than, like, you know, so yeah, there's a Stream Awards. Twitch is the only reason I know is because I follow Twitch on Twitter and I was seeing like GIFs of it. Apparently, like, that's happening. What is happening there? I don't know. I did vote at one point to nominate a friend of mine in a category. I don't think they got nominated for that category, but, like, I don't know. Award shows, who needs them? I did record a video on a particular award show, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, to talk about the results of that. That'll be on the YouTube on Monday. And folks in my Discord saw a preview of the thumbnail I will be using for said video. I'm going to start doing bad thumbnails. Now, when I say bad, I mean a photo of my face having a reaction, the YouTube thumbnail reaction, some sort of image related to what I'm talking about, and then some text over that, which should be legible, but is in a weird place, and maybe also reinforcing the title of the video. Will I do the font choices? No. Will I do, like, collages of photos or edit a photo to make it a lie, therefore lying to you? No, I'm not going to do that. I am going to do the part where I use a photo of myself and I use some sort of photo or image related to what I'm talking about as the background. And also there will be text on it. So I am doing, thank you. I am going to be doing most of what that they want based on other YouTube content. Come on, Pat. Won't you gaslight us a little bit? Arctic Sloth, I don't want to gaslight. I'm not looking for, like I'm not going to be like, because it's Pat Bear's Anime Club. I want to tell you it's Pat Bear's Anime Club and what I'm going to be talking about. So there might be, like, sometimes I'll put something like since I'm talking about the Anime Award show, Crunchyroll's Anime Awards, it's like, who won? Question mark, exclamation point. Like, what? But, like, that's also what I'm talking about in the video, because, like, some anime won for certain categories, and I'm like, nah, get out of here. So, like, it fits with that. Why am I doing this? It was recommended to me that I start doing it because the algorithm legitimately, apparently, according to the person I have chatted with, an employee of YouTube, the algorithm does in fact like videos that has a clearly, like, a human, not like an animated, a human face in it, making some sort of emotional reaction. The algorithm fucking likes that. It's why, if you look at it, the most popular videos from, like, the Try Guys is Keith Habersberger with his mouth open, eating something, and then it says what he's eating at. Those are their best videos, with possible exceptions of Eugene content. Eugene queer content does very well because there are a lot of queer folks that feel like Eugene is the reason why they're comfortable being queer. So, like, those do incredibly well. But beyond Eugene videos, the best videos that they have are videos where Keith is eating something, because those thumbnails are like candy to the algorithm. so it gets pushed out to a lot of people. So like I'm gonna do it because I want more people to watch my YouTube videos. I'm only gonna do it for Pat Bear's Anime Club. We're gonna go to the overhead in a minute. We're gonna start working on the Gundam part, or the robot part of this Guntank. I'm gonna retweet my tweet, see if we can view friends here. But let's get into it. But I'm not gonna do it like for one. I already just used a thumbnail of a photo of myself for Baerly Rehearsed. Also, the thing about Baerly Rehearsed is they're all been pretty much like less than 5-minute videos, and I'm not going to put like 3 minutes in Photoshop instead for a 5-minute video. Like, I'm just not going to do that. Like, there's no editing on those. I just do another take if it doesn't work well. Maybe occasionally a little bit of light editing. I might do some editing in there. But for the most part, I'm trying not to do any editing. So we have the tank part of our gun tank here. It's looking pretty dope. The tank treads. And then, of course, it has, instead of a weapon there and a pivot there for a big gun, instead, there's just the spot to put a torso. So let's start working on the upper body. The torso of this. We'll put it right there so you can see it over there as we work on the old torso. I am still using my old nippers because this is really heavy plastic. Like, the connectors here are really heavy, and it just felt bad using my good nippers on this. That is a weird thing, so I'm using my old ones. Wait, is that bigger than normal ball joints? This appears to be a fairly large ball joint. I don't have a rep of it, but yeah, this was a fairly large ball joint. It was like this one over here. It appears to be larger than normal. We'll look at it when we start putting the thing together, but it's going to fit into this here. So it is. Could you just put any torso on there? Lastberg, I don't know. I'll say this. Most torsos don't fit quite like that because they pop into the waist. It's possible. It's totally possible that I could put another high grade into this. I might try that. I don't have a high grade, like an older high grade, right within arm's reach, but I can probably take a look at something. I mean, I definitely could like look at some older kits that I have and see what's going on there. Because I have some high grades. Just the only high grades I have within arm's reach are their 2022 kits. So I don't know if they would be compatible, but they might be. Anyway, yeah. So that's it. I'm going to be doing some thumbnails. Oh yeah, I'm using these old nippers here instead of my newer ones just for this, because I don't care if these get messed up. Yeah, I'm working on some thumbnails. I think it'll look fine. It'll be fine. I mean, for Pat Bear's Anime Club, I used to just do whatever they, photo they recommended from the thumbnails, and then eventually I just started doing numbers of like, Anime Club number 92. And I'm just like, okay. But now I'm going to try making bad thumbnails. Now, the beauty of this is, I said Photoshop earlier. I'm not actually using Photoshop. I'm using PowerPoint. Because I have PowerPoint. And why not use PowerPoint to make some images? Because they already are 16 by 9. The back, like the slide is 16 by 9. So I can just throw some stuff in there and save it as PNG. And it's good. So I've been doing that. Now, you're saying, Pat, you're taking photos of yourself, though. How are you making that work? How are you removing the background? Well, iOS 16 lets you do it. You hold down on the body, the thing you want, and you drag it a little bit, and then you release, and then it says copy or share, and it does its best to cut out the background. It's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job. It does definitely good enough job for a thing I don't really care about. So I'm just taking reaction faces in front of a white wall, or off-white wall, one of these walls here. So I just took some photos in front of that, did the whole thing, and then sent the images from my phone to a Discord. I have the public or click on the link and you go there. Discord, the Build with Baer community Discord. I have a different Discord that is kind of like I'm the only person invited to it, and it is a repository of photos and links. Because like if I'm on my phone, sometimes I'll just like I don't want to save it as a bookmark and then have to sync my bookmarks. I just like put a link in there, or a thing you can do in Discord that makes life easier if you don't want to open up a program is if you get a file, you want to save an image, and it's giving you Google's dumb image thing that like you can't do anything with, and you can't open it anything because it's just for like a web browser. You can save that. You can copy that image, paste it into a Discord, and then when you can save it as a PNG out of the Discord. So I have a Discord set up for quickly changing file formats, posting things, and then also now it's a place where I can send cut out photos of my face with the photos with the background removed of my face, and then just pull from there. And because I'm the only one in there, it's not weird. It's productive. It's still a little weird, but like I said, it'll work out just fine. Okay, put that there. Put that there. I'm gonna put this like this. I hope everyone's doing well on this Saturday. I think this is going to be a pretty chill stream, pretty relaxed evening, but I'm still looking forward to it. Let's see, what else should I talk about? Hey, save the date. I actually don't have the file. I don't have the file right now, so hold on one second as I bring this up. So this is going to be Plamo. I have been accepted to the Plastic Model Weekender 2023. It's a 4-day event. I believe that they're going to do a higher res version of this image. So right now I'm just saving that. And then I can add it here. So give me a second because I can't drag it. Used to be able to drag it. Now you can't drag it anymore. So I got to go find it. I got to go to this computer, downloads. There it is. Here we go. April 27th through the 30th. It's a long weekender. The Plastic Model Weekender. Save the date. I do not know when in that weekend I will be streaming, but I will be doing a couple hours, probably 2 hours, in the Plastic Model Weekender on April 27th through the 30th. So please save the date. I will not be in here. I will be in twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender. We will certainly raid as well. Thank you, Aristofan. Appreciate that. Look, did I think I was going to get in this year? Yeah. Would I have been okay if I didn't get in? Yeah, I would have been okay. I look forward to doing that. I am now, I know what kit I'm going to build. Look, here's the thing. If I didn't get in, the kit I built would have entered regular rotation anyway, because I'm not actually going to be building a model kit during that 2 hours. That's a weird thing to say, right? During Plastic Model Weekender, Pat, you're not going to be assembling a kit? What are you talking about? Oh, we can get rid of that now. What do you mean you're not going to be building a kit? I'm not going to be assembling a kit on it. I'm going to be painting a kit. That's right. For the first time ever on stream, I will be using paint. I will be applying paint to a model kit. Will that take 2 hours? No. But also, a good portion of my 2 hours for that stream will be opening trading cards, because I will be continuing my silly choice of having a bunch of packs of cards from movies and TV and trading card games and sports cards as well. I will be taking those nonsense cards and I will be opening them, and that takes a good chunk of my time anyway. How much will you be practicing painting? Well, Aristofan, I am not going to talk about the actual thing that I will be doing, except I will say this paint application will not be difficult. This is going to be cool and interesting, but it will not be doing like minifig painting. I will not be using tiny brushes and swearing. It will be a paint application that should be fucking rad, and I think you'll fucking like it. But I'm not going to get too much into the specifics of it. I will say that the week of that event, the Monday and Thursday that week, or depending, because if the slot I get is Thursday, then it'll be the 2 streams. I'll say this, so it could be Saturday, Monday. The 2 streams that I will be doing before that event, we will be building the model kit that I will be painting on stream as a way to like advertise the thing and get people in the vibe. I will be doing the prep of actually putting the kit together on my regular stream. So I'll like pause whatever I'm working on and then start working on that and then finish it. And if I have to finish it off stream, I'll finish it off stream. If it takes more than 2 streams to put together, which I don't think it will, I think 2 full streams will be enough, I'll finish it off stream if I have to. But I'll have that done as a way to like kind of like promote the event, saying like, hey, this is the kit, I'm building this kit, and then I'll be painting it during the stream. And then I have a thing that I want to do. I'm going to be doing some testing of this painting method off stream. I'm going to keep that in my pocket. I think it's going to be good, and I think you'll like it. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think it'll be fun. Lastberg says, I really need to get back to one of my painting projects. I just don't want to use the outdoor common areas of my apartment to top coat. I hear you. This will be something where I don't have to wear a mask and I don't have to ventilate the room. I'm going to crack a window. I'm definitely going to ventilate the room, but I don't have to be too worried about it. Again, I don't want to get too much into those details, but got accepted. Also, part of the plan is promotion. I am going to attempt to make some appearances on some podcasts. Last year, I was on one of the Patreon podcasts for Nextlander. They have a few that are like time sensitive. They have one that the Ramblecast, which like goes out to some tiers, and then the rest of the tiers, the lower tiers, can get it like at a different time. And that's fine. I mean, I think I would prefer to, if I could swing it, I certainly would prefer to just be on a regular episode, but like whatever. I understand. But yeah, I'm going to try to do Nextlander again. I'm going to be reaching out to other people to try to make this work because I obviously want to get the word out to as many people as possible. And hopefully I can make some appearances on some podcasts that people listen to. And then they can be like, oh yeah, Pat Baer. Oh, Plamo Weekender, what the fuck is that? You know, that kind of thing. What? VTubers build model kits? I gotta see that. Because that's the thing I say, and people are like, wait, what? That's the thing that I think that people like are probably the most surprised about the weekend. One, there are people that are surprised that you can do all the hours of the event that we do, and there are enough model kit builders on Twitch to make that happen, like regularly active model kit builders, which is a true statement. There are enough. There are more than enough. There are people who did not get invited to do it. They didn't get into it. So there are always going to be some people, unfortunately, that get left out. But it'll be a good time. Looking forward to it. I love a good stream. I love a good charity stream. And it's a good excuse to try something new in front of a lot of people. I also will probably have a backup plan in case the first plan does not work. I mean, I'm going to test. The idea that I'm testing, I'll have something, it'll be good. But I might need something else to help fill the 2 hours, because I believe it'll be 2 hour slot. This year it is not a straight like marathon. There will be like an overnight. There'll be like Saturday, we'll keep going into Sunday to the end. But I believe Thursday and Friday are just like long evening hours. And I think that makes a lot of sense because it just makes it's very difficult to do otherwise. All right. We're waiting until we get this all together before we panel line it. So we'll get all that in. This is a complicated, weird looking kit. But yeah, we'll get this all assembled and we'll put it in there. So yeah, very excited about the weekend. I think that's going to be pretty cool. Play him a weekender. Catch it. Let's see. I got some wrestling news to talk about here pretty briefly. They have announced, WWE has announced the first inductee to the class of 2023's WrestleMania Hall of Fame. I mean, it's the Hall of Fame, but it's attached to WrestleMania. And that will be Rey Mysterio. Now, obviously, Rey Mysterio, a legend. Very much like belongs in the Hall of Fame. I have no issue with him being in the Hall of Fame. I think that's smart and great. It is a little odd. I will say this. It's a little odd that Rey Mysterio is going in when he is still an active wrestler. Like, has wrestled to be the number one. He has wrestled within this within like the last year for the Intercontinental title. He is still around. He won the tag belts with Dominic. First ever father-son tag team to win the titles. It is odd that he is going into Hall of Fame when he is not retired. In 2018, Mark Henry was not retired officially, inducted to the Hall of Fame, but he was on a part-time schedule at that point. And then later only wrestled once that year for WWE before he left the company. At least until his son retires in WrestleMania. Lasbrook, that is what, because this is part of a storyline with he does not want to fight Dominic. Dominic wants to fight him because I assume, Rey hitting Dominic proves that Rey is a bad father. My assumption is this is leading to a match where Rey's retirement is on the line. Now, the Hall of Fame is the day or 2 days before WrestleMania, so it will be interesting for him to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and then have a match at WrestleMania where he gets retired by his son. So, but he also could just go into active. Obviously, Edge is back and wrestling. He's retired, but he's still back. Like, retirement doesn't mean shit. Really. Age is just a number, and retirement doesn't mean anything. But it is like, okay, sure, Ray, you're retired. Okay. Let's panel line this, then we'll put the back part on, which is in here. We'll get the back part together. D7 and 8 is here. Let's put that there. We'll do that in a bit, but let's panel line this. So yeah, Rey Mysterio is retiring. Or not retiring. Hey, Lord Christian, Rey Mysterio is going into the Hall of Fame. I think that's a great induction. That'll be fantastic. Mick Foley has said, Hall of Famer Mick Foley has said that someone asked him to induct them into the Hall of Fame. What about Rey Mysterio Jr.? Yes, indeed, right? What happens to Rey Mysterio Jr.? He's still out there. So Mick Foley has been out there saying that someone asked him to induct them into the Hall of Fame. That person hasn't been announced. Also, the rumors are that the Great Muta will be inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, which makes sense. He just retired, and while he did not have anything to do with WWE, he did have something to do with WCW, and also the WWE is not afraid to put in legends of wrestling into their Hall of Fame who have contributed to the sport. So him going in would make sense. We don't know if he is, but it would make sense. The only shame is because of his contract situation, you wouldn't have Sting putting him in, which would be fucking cool. It'll probably be somebody else from the WCW era. I don't know who. But yeah, so like that's the big announcement. That's our first entry into the Hall of Fame. We don't know if Batista's going in this year. Batista was supposed to go in 2020, but of course that Hall of Fame didn't happen. So they've just been waiting for their schedules to line up. So we'll see if he goes in this year. I don't know. And once again, I must say, when talking about the WWE Hall of Fame, I must remind you that that they have a celebrity wing for people that have contributed. And many of these celebrities that are in the celebrity wing have only done brief appearances once in a while and not really contributed too much. And it is a shame that Cyndi Lauper is not in the WWE Hall of Fame, because Cyndi Lauper helped with the rock and roll connection, helped wrestling as a whole break into the mainstream, and Cyndi Lauper should be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Drew Carey's in the Hall of Fame for being in the Royal Rumble and hosting one time. But yeah, fucking put Cyndi Lauper in the Hall of Fame. She has done so much. Having Captain Lou Albano in her music videos, like that. He's her dad in 2 videos. Not Just Girls Want to Have Fun, and another one as well. Is it She Bop? I can't remember. But he's her dad in another video. Like, come on. Hey, Dirty, welcome. Cyndi Lauper should be in the WWE Hall of Fame because she has clearly contributed to the world of wrestling. And it's silly that she's not in there. No, he's not. Contributing music, like licensing music, it has not been enough to be in the Hall of Fame. Unless you have also performed, and I don't believe he ever did, so no. Yeah. I mean, the Celebrity Hall of Fame, the Celebrity Wing is weird. Also, Dick Ebersol isn't in there and should be, because he basically put WWE on, or WWF at the time, of course, on NBC, and really championed that, and that was hugely important for that. And Madison Square Garden should be in the Hall of Fame. Put the fucking Garden in the Hall of Fame, cowards. It would be awesome. It would be rad as hell. They should do that. They haven't. Put a physical fucking building in the Hall of Fame. Dang jerks. All right. We can now erase some of this, and then we can start putting some stuff together here. And we can put the backpack on this. Other wrestling news. At the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which will be at the end of this month, there will be a Reach for the Sky ladder match. It is a tag team ladder match. The winning team will be the new Ring of Honor tag team champions. Of course, Jay Briscoe died in a traffic accident not too long ago. He and his brother Mark were the tag champions for Ring of Honor. And Mark is put his stamp of approval on this Reach for the Sky tag tournament. Tag ladder match. That should be good and silly and get a lot of tags in there. We know the Lucha Brothers are in there. I kind of don't want the Lucha Brothers to win just because I don't want them to be mostly on Ring of Honor, because I'm not paying $10 a month for Ring of Honor right now, so I don't watch what's going on there, which sucks because that's where fucking Eddie Kingston is, and I want to see Eddie Kingston wrestling, and I can't see Eddie Kingston wrestling because I don't want to spend $10 a month. I want to just watch him on television, but I don't get to do that. It's frustrating. Let's see. So that's good. Per Andrew Zarian, apparently, according to him, AEW will be getting another in-ring wrestling show on a Turner channel on Saturdays in the afternoon or early evening, which is a classic. Saturday, 6:05 p.m. on TBS was a classic time. We don't know if it's going to be TBS or TNT. Them having another hour is ridiculous in my mind. They have to get rid of a YouTube show, either Dark or Dark Elevation. It doesn't matter which, and move that. It's they did trademark a while ago the name AEW Collision. And apparently it is not like a recap show. It is an in-ring show. Is what now we don't know if he's his reporting is usually fairly accurate. So I tend to think that this is a possibility. I don't need another fucking hour of AEW. They got so many hours. They have 3 hours on TV and about 2 hours on YouTube per week, and then they also have a secondary brand with a 2-hour show or hour to 2 hour show that I don't watch, but that's still a lot of wrestling. I mean, I will watch it if there's people I like on it, but it's weird. So my assumption is that if it does happen, one gets replaced. And then also, don't forget, now this won't be a long-term show, but they do have their reality show that's coming out at the end of the year, or at the end of the month, which I don't know if I'm going to be watching all of, because I don't really watch reality shows, but I'll tune in for something. At least they can finally flex that entire roster, right? I mean, that would be the hope, is that you would see, it wouldn't just be, like, also, the idea that Dynamite is live, and then they tape Rampage after it. So you could have Rampage be live, and then tape this Saturday show after. It would mean that they would only have a day to broadcast it, or to get it ready for air, and that's a fairly big ask instead of the 2 days they have to do that. So that is quite the ask there. So I don't know if that's a likely scenario, I should say. All right, let's put this on here. We should just have to be able to pop that in. Yep, just pop it in. Now, can I easily remove this? Yes. Oh, no, this came up. So this came up, but it still should be easy if I wanted to try to put something else in there, like another kit in there. If the holes line up, I might be able to put a different torso in this kit. We will try that. I don't think we're going to do it on stream, but we might try that. I might try that and then post photos in the Discord and, of course, on Twitter and such. All right, so that's that. So we can move on to the head. I have not done a poll. I will be doing a poll tomorrow to see what I build when this is done. I don't know if we're going to finish this tonight because we have the arms, the head, and the weapons. We still have to put the big guns up here. So I don't know if we're going to finish this tonight, but we will definitely finish it on Monday. So I will have that ready to at least be able to talk about, like, I have to know what's next. I do have, for emergencies, this little 3-in-1 Panda Bear Lego set that I got from Target. It was like a couple dollars, but you had to spend a certain amount to get it with free shipping. But you can make a penguin and a panda bear and a whale, and that's cute. It's only 83 pieces, so this will be a fun little 3-in-1 that I will be happy to work on in the future. Yeah, it looks like a very cute Satirist event. Yeah, I think it's a Target exclusive. I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but I saw it at Target, and I just picked it up when I was picking up some other stuff. And that's my emergency kit. That's just a kit that I have for, oh no, I didn't do a vote. I don't know what I'm building next, but I finished this kit sooner than I thought I would. We'll just go to the Panda Bear, you know? I could always just pick a kit I want to build, but I do really like having my polls for the $10 patrons because they're giving me $10 a month, and it feels nice to be able to say, this is a thing you get, because there's only a couple of them. So it does feel nice to be able to have that. Let's see, any other wrestling thing? I guess we can go to check out the wrestling news, see if there's anything in there. We got some buys here. I'll click on this. Let's see. So that I'm just looking at some wrestling news. There's a whole legal thing that I don't know if we're ready to. AEW has a trademark for Fight Forever. That is the name of their the subtitle for their video game, and they made a trademark case for Fight Forever, which is a chant that wrestling fans like to yell for matches that they want to see go on for a long time. They'll chant "Fight Forever," clap, 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 "Fight Forever," and so on and so forth. Now, there is a wrinkle to that. Fight Forever was the name of a pay-per-view event, a charity pay-per-view event from Game Changer Wrestling, GCW. And after they had not made an attempt to trademark that, but once AEW made that trademark, then they made the case for the trademark. Now, AEW's trademark is just like for video games. It's very specific, and it's all of that. And supposedly they've been working together on this, and it looks like it's become a little bit more lawyery, and there has been a bunch of conversations whether or not like whose fault that is and who's not talking to who, and a bunch of other bullshit that's just like seems like nonsense. And at one point somebody is saying that like, oh well, the lawyers filed a thing without clearing it with Game Changer Wrestling, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like a fucking thing that would happen. That doesn't sound that doesn't sound right. The lawyer's just going to process a thing without talking to you. Like, unless GCW has really terrible lawyers, which I am willing to believe. Because they're kind of a how are you still in business company. They're a company that I question their ability to be an actual organization. So the idea that they have lawyers that are just like, yeah, no, we're going to court on this one, or we're going to judiciary measures on this one here, seems weird. We just get this head together here. All right, that looks like it's together. Hell yeah. Of course, we'll panel line this once we get it all done. There's not a lot to this head, so it should be pretty straightforward. Our only clear plastic piece here, got a little green. The only other color between light gray and dark gray is this green, but it looks good. So yeah, they have opposed the register of the Fight Forever trademark. And then Brett is like, GCW has never and will never ask for $1 of Tony Khan's money, which is like, that doesn't seem right. So then why are you fighting it? Are you fighting it just to protect your thing? But they're not calling a pay-per-view that. They're calling the game that. So like, what's going on here? It seems like some bullshit that people can talk about and be mad at whatever company they feel like they need to be mad at. I did not need to bring it up, but it's happening out there, whatever. And also, I don't think I've ever talked about GCW on here. Game Changer Wrestling has some great wrestlers, and some of their match types are not something I'm particularly interested in, but sure. When I saw they're trying to ensure that they can still use the name for the event. Yeah, Last Rick, which is like, yeah, you can. You don't need this. AEW's trademark is for video games. Clearly, it's for video games. Like, it's very specifically very narrow for video games, most likely because they are very much aware that their that GCW, not their competitors, but GCW has called a wrestling show Fight Forever. So she's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, you're probably all right. So we'll see. And like, I understand, like, oh, like, now Fight Forever is going to be associated with AEW, even if you had a pay-per-view event named that. But it's just like, oh, okay. All right. All right, let's panel line this head, and then we can stick it on there. It's just going to go, like, over here. But we need to panel line it first. It'll be a lot easier to panel line it right here, like this. Let's see. Other things. Cody Rhodes saw the Revolution pay-per-view. He did not pay for it, but he got the highlights from Ricky and saw Ricky and Chris's match. Because Cody Rhodes and Ricky Starks are friends. You may remember that Ricky Starks got a photograph of him being backstage for a recent pay-per-view. He was at Elimination Chamber. He was not obviously on the card, but he was just backstage hanging out with Cody. And then somebody took a photo, And that went viral and, kind of embarrassing. So I don't imagine that'll be happening again in the future. All right, let's see what I got here. He's happy for the House of Black, which is nice, and Julia Hart. This is very cool. I agree with him. I'm also happy for House of Black and for Julia Hart being cool. And then all my other kids, I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to put this thing. And then all my other kids, I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to put them over. All my other kids, one of them was out there in the main event. We don't have to be best friends or anything. Just very proud of their growth, their continued growth. MJF, he's proud of MJF, but he and MJF feuded a bunch, so he can't. So he doesn't want to break kayfabe in this interview and be like, even though he is breaking kayfabe. But he doesn't want to be like, I'm proud of MJF, because he's supposed to hate MJF. So he doesn't want to say he's proud of him. Because he knows that MJF would want him to hate him. So, but he's proud of MJF. And that's nice. We like that. MJF is having a rebar mitzvah on Wednesday for Dynamite. You heard that right. A rebar mitzvah. What is a rebar mitzvah? It's not a thing. Don't worry about it. You didn't learn. There's not a thing about the Jewish faith and culture that you didn't know about. In this instance, it's just a made-up thing. Instead of a championship ceremony, because he defended his title, he's going to have a rebar mitzvah. The funniest element of that is that the promo for it is a photo of him and two young ladies, clearly Long Island ladies, at his original bar mitzvah. They had to Photoshop the shirts that those girls are wearing because they had fake WWE shirts, because I guess the theme was WWE, which is very funny. Are they using rebar in the match? No, Arist fan, it's not a match. It's a rebar mitzvah. It's a party. It's not a match at all. It is a celebration of MJF in Canada. Because it's going to be in Winnipeg. And two men from Winnipeg are wrestling on the card, which is weird. There's two men from Winnipeg wrestling in Winnipeg next week. Also, it is lower than that notice. Motherfucking Stu Grayson's back, baby. That's right. They're in Canada. Stu Grayson, from the Dark Order, who did not get his contract renewed a while ago, made one brief backstage appearance randomly the last time and the first time they were in Canada. He's back, baby. He's gonna be wrestling with I think it's Uno and Hangman. I believe that is the trio. But anyway, it's fucking happening. Stu Grayson back in with the Dark Order for, again, most likely one night only, which is a shame. They should just fucking hire Stu back, but whatever. Because it'd be cool. Anyway, this is also fucking cool looking. This is such a weird kit. I enjoy this weird kit very, very much. Let's start working on an arm. I'm sorry, a manipulator. Why they call them left and right manipulators, I don't know. I don't remember that being a thing about these kits, about these mobile suits, things is calling them manipulators, but that's what we're calling them, I guess. So we'll build a left manipulator. Let's see. Of course, reference to the MJF. Keeping kayfabe, yes. And of course, Malachi Black and Ricky Starks won their matches. It's good. I appreciate them doing a feud with BCC, but Dio really needs something to happen. Lashbrook, I just don't know if it ever will. It does need to. I agree with you. We do need to see something happening with Dark Order. Look, what I need is for a member of Dark Order to pin a member of the Blackpool Combat Club. I do not care. Fine. Fucking, it can be Wheeler Yuta. Sure. But a member of that group needs to pin a member of that group. If Hangman gets the pin this week, that sucks. You know what? Fine. Have Stu Grayson pin Wheeler Yuta. That doesn't mean shit, but it is important to happen. Like, that stuff has to happen. They have to have them win. So unless the story is Hangman really doesn't need the Dark Order and they shouldn't be around, and that's a shitty story that I don't want personally, but if that's the story they're going to tell, fine. They got to do something. They really got to do something, and I don't know what that's going to be, but they just gotta. I remembered that I took out the wrong polycap for this before. That's going to be a problem because I don't know where that polycap went. But I took out the wrong polycap, and then I put it over here, and it is not there. Oh, good, it's here. Woo! This polycap, I thought I lost there for a second, and that would have been really frustrating if I had actually lost it. I did not lose it. I didn't see it where it was, but I did not lose it. That's good. I need poly 2. There's some musical performances. Jimmy Allen is a Grammy-nominated country music singer who will be doing America the Beautiful on the second WrestleMania show. That's Sunday. And then Becky G is going to be on the Saturday show. Becky G and Jimmy Allen. I don't know Jimmy Allen at all. I am aware of Becky G, and I like her music, and I think that's fine. That sounds pretty. I'm totally like, yeah, sure, all right. Becky G makes some fun music. I don't know who Jimmy Allen is, but sure. He now joins the such notables as Aretha Franklin, Little Richard, Ray Charles, John Legend, and of course Fifth Harmony, who all sang America the Beautiful before a WrestleMania, which is a fun group of folks to be a part of. But yeah, again, I don't know who that dude is. Let's see, is there any other wrestling news? People believe Great Muta is going to the Hall of Fame, but we don't certainly know that for sure. The first episode of QTV will be on Dynamite. I still don't quite know what that's going to be, of course, but sure. There are some people that I know that very much dislike QT Marshall and don't want to see. He has go-home heat with them. They just do not want to see them. They find nothing redeemable about him. I think QT Marshall does an incredible job of being a heel and getting people to hate him. I think he is fantastic at being an asshole and having people be like, fuck this guy. There are so many cool heels in wrestling. It is an accomplishment when you are an actual heel. There are only so many actual ones. You know, Christian, Jeff Jarrett, the Guns. There's only so many that don't get cheers along the way. So for him to just be like a dude that just gets fucking straight up booed all the time, that's good. He does a good job of it. He's also a trainer. Trained a lot of people that work at AEW and trains some people, gives pointers and tips and all kinds of stuff. And I think that's also a valuable service to be able to provide. So I got no problems with this as long as it is something for Powerhouse Hobbs to do that does not involve a physical book that he holds, which was, of course, one of the worst things to ever put on a person. The Book of Hobbs. These fucking cool, really detailed font, we're really going deep with this. We're really going to have these vignettes and really get into the character. Now it's time for you to wrestle, Hobbs. And the Book of Hobbs is, of course, there. And it's a physical book that you hold in your hand and walk down to the ring with. And then, after you beat your opponent, you make the referee go and get the book and hand you the book again. And it's a fucking book. And it's not even a fucking death note. You don't interact with the book. You don't write the names of the people down in the book. You don't threaten to add them to it. You just hold a fucking book. If he has a championship and he doesn't hold that book anymore, then that's a win, in my opinion. Also, like, Hobbs is a great wrestler and a great worker, and I want good things for him. So, sure. Like, one would hope. One would hope. He is a champion, so. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus is happening next week. The winner of that match will face Gunther at WrestleMania. They both won a match. It's nonsense. There was a 5-person number one contenders match. They each pinned someone because there were 2 referees because of all of the bodies in the ring. And since they won at the exact same time, instead of both of them going there, it's just the winner goes there. And then most likely they will somehow both win or both lose that match. And they will both go to WrestleMania, and it'll be a 3-way fight. That's my guess. That's just my guess. What if he gets a custom belt with the book built in? Oh, God, Arctic Sloth. Also, hi, Arctic Sloth. But no, Arctic Sloth, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want a custom belt with a book. That sounds like too much bullshit for me. That's not the kind of bullshit I'm looking for. I love books, says John. Yes, I also love books, but I don't need my wrestler to be carrying a physical book. I don't need the Book of Hobbs to be a literal thing. Lord Crashing wants me at the dance button. Sure, I'll hit the fucking dance button. I got no problems doing that. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oops. Oh, no. Polycat. Almost bounced out. I was dancing so much that I almost launched a polycap off the table. That would have been hard to get. That's pretty bumpy music. Yes, and John, that music is definitely something that you would hear in a montage of people getting a big piece of lumber down to a bunch of small pieces of lumber. It's definitely YouTube montage music, but I don't dislike it. I mean, I picked it to be in here, so of course I don't dislike it. All right. Getting some of our manipulator done. Nonsense. Speaking of bumping music, I should mention that. I think I maybe put in there. Hold on. I have to look this up. I'm not going to post a link into chat here. I am just going to tell you that Ed Kalehoff is putting an album out this year. Ed with 2 D's. Ed Kalehoff. Mr. Ed Kalehoff. You know Ed Kalehoff as the man that made the Price is Right theme and the Double Dare theme and a bunch of interstitial music in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Motherfucking the guy what brought you the fucking Price is Right theme is putting out an album, which is an anthology album of a bunch of his music over the years. It's his first fucking album. And that's nonsense. You can find it in my tweets. I believe yesterday I put a tweet out there about it. I retweeted my friend today because Ramona, we raid Rara, Vectroid, did the art for the album, which I'll drag over here. Oh, it did work. Oh, no, it disappeared. Anyway, for a second, you saw that for a split second. I forgot it can't just work like that. But also there is an EP of some of his music from 1989 till today. I'm going to put a link into chat of that. Please check out this Twitter thread here. It's cool as hell. Another friend is working on with the record label for this album and EP, helping out with that as a music producer. and that rules. And I think it is just fucking cool as hell that that is happening. That's just the thing that's happening. Shifted Sand are producing this album, and the EP is out. You can listen to it on Apple Music or Spotify. I recommend the final track of that EP. It's a fucking banger. And it's just cool. It's just cool and weird that the guy that made the Price is Right theme is putting an album out this year. And then friends of mine are involved in it. And that's just weird. That's just weird and cool. Speaking of cool, now's the part of the stream where I'm talking to you, the fine folks watching, about ways you can support the channel, which is one of the coolest things you can do is to support me. Nothing's cooler. Right now, I would like to see the Baer Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and if you're a wrist fan, the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, show those emotes. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through $5 a month cash money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you can throw that in there. You get emotes. You don't see ads. I get to have some money. It works out for everybody. Consider becoming a subscriber. It would be rad. You could also gift a sub to somebody in the community. We have 0 gifted subs right now. Makes sense because the end of February we had a lot of gifted subs and some regular subs as well. So it makes sense that we don't have any right now. But if you'd like to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you can do that. Bits and coins always appreciated if you want to join that. Now, there are other ways to support me outside of Twitch because it's important to have options. I mentioned it earlier. I have a Patreon. I got a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining my Patreon, doing some voting on stuff. Patreon voted. I'm going to double check the results right now because I haven't actually looked at it in a second, but I believe that I'll be playing Persona 4 with mods next Tuesday. I'm just going to, yes, Persona 4 with mods has won the vote. That will be what I do next Tuesday. But yeah, that was my $3, $5, $10 patrons get to vote on that. But there's different rewards with different tiers. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, please do. If you would like to become a member over there, you could also do that. Membership is $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. And my next one should be pretty great. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have written it. It's ready to go because I write several of these at a time. So yeah, check that out because I think that I think you will enjoy that. I think that's pretty fun. Let's see. Is there other things I gotta say here? Oh, so those are all ways to monthly support me. Reoccurring support. But if you want to just do it once, if you just want to do it one time, you go over. And you can use my Ko-fi or my PayPal or my Stream Elements to do a one-time donation. That will be great. Just throw me a buck or two now and again. You can do that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watch my videos. Patreon and Twitch, all of that goes into a fund. I buy model kits with that. I saw this on Amazon. I said, I have not built this before, the Guntank. I want to build a fucking Guntank, so I purchased this kit. And now I have a fucking Guntank. And I'm very excited to be building it. It's silly, and I get to work on that. Now, if you would like to decide what I build next, instead of me doing polls or, digging into my backlog, if you're just like, no, Pat, you make what I want you to make. Go over to my Amazon wish list and buy a kit, and I'll build it, and it'll jump the queue. I'll make a YouTube video about it. It becomes the next thing that I build. I've got Lego sets. I've got model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I got one puzzle thing in there that's a RX-782. It's the Granddad Gundam puzzle. Bunch of stuff that's like reasonably priced. Some stuff that's not reasonably priced. A few new things in there. The Freedom Gundam Real Grade. I have never built that. That's one of the... I think it's the only real grade I haven't built. So I'd be happy to put that together. A bunch of other things on here that I'd be pleased as punch to put together, including the Bandai Figurize Lieselotte kit. It's like a person. I've done it for Dragon Ball a bunch. But yeah, there's a Lieselotte kit. I could put together Lieselotte if you wanted to buy that for me to do that. A bunch of different things. Take a look there, see if there's something there that appeals to you. And some gear at the bottom, because there's always nice to have some gear options. Because sometimes people want to support, but they don't fucking know what kits what kit to pick. So I give them another option. Speaking of options, you can also go to my Throne wish list, pick up something there. Have not had something purchased on my wish list in a while. Would love it. If you wanted to do that, you certainly could. And then USA Gundam Store. You can go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card, send me a DM on Twitter or whisper on Twitch. My DMs are open. And you just be like, hey, I got this. And then I'll get that gift card code, and I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And I promise it won't be a pre-order, because we got burned one time with the Ultimate Gohan, which just took forever and forever and forever, and that wasn't fair to Harold, who bought that. I remember it was Harold. If you want to support me and not spend any money, join my Discord. I was talking about that Discord earlier tonight. Discord is a lovely place to hang out. It's a nice little community of folks. Post build photos. If you are in that Discord and you are working on any kind of model kit, Lego set, building some shelves, doing some painting, putting together a puzzle, throw that in the build photos channel. I'd love to see what you're working on. If you're not working on anything, hey, here's your friend Pat Baer saying, find some time to work on something. If you got a little free time, you've been itching to get creative again, I would love it if you did it. Do it for the photos, so you can send to me. I don't know, throwing it out there. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got a couple video links for check out. So, Monday I have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. If you missed the previous one is me talking about okay. That's me talking about light novels. Not light novels, sorry. Visual novels. I forgot what my own video was about. I've been talking about it for 2 weeks. This is the one about anime that is adapted from visual novels and how there might be more than you've even thought possible. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where I promise I have written a script and I have practiced it before I hit record. This latest one is me doing play-by-play commentary for Slap Fight, but I say Slap Fight because it's slap with 2 P's. And I am portraying the character Video James, a disgraced esports commentator who now has to do Slap Fight commentating. Video James is a character idea I've had for many years when I was pitching to a comedic wrestling league to be an announcer for them, or a commentator. I pitched Video James, disgraced esports journalist or whatever. Slap Fight, yes, indeed. It's Slap Fight with 2 P's, Slap Fight. And then I do say the line in that, there's the slap, which I find I really enjoyed. That was silly in a way that I enjoyed very much. Okay. I have 3 anime to talk to you about, so we'll get into that in just a second. I do need to drink some water. I require water, so I'm going to do that, and we'll dramatically transition to the overhead, and then finish up the left manipulator in just a moment, and that moment is right now. Anime. Who needs it? No, we all love it. Okay, so on this episode of Endo and Kobayashi Live, the latest on the Tsundere Villainess, Lieselotte, we don't need him, but we do need aspects of it. Indeed. Shit is happening. Finally. So if you remember, this is a anime about 2 people who are doing a let's play of a video game, but then the commentary they're providing to each other ends up being heard by some of the characters in the romance visual novel, this adventure visual novel. And that changes the course of events, because suddenly people can be are hearing thoughts and all that, and like, oh shit, that's weird. Shit's getting odd, right? Okay, so 2 and 3, great. Interesting, right? That is happening. That is an interesting occurrence. So we know from what the video game is supposed to happen is the princess Lieselotte, or she's would be princess Lieselotte. She's a tsundere. People don't understand her. The prince, instead of falling in love with her, which he probably would if she was more open and honest with her feelings, instead he falls in love with the heroine of the story. There's a lot of complicated stuff. Eventually, the distraught Lieselotte goes out into the woods and is taken over by the witch. And that is the and then of course they have to kill her in order to defeat the witch. And it is, somewhat sad. They are somewhat concerned about that event, but mostly she's also been an awful person and clearly doesn't love anyone or want to be with anybody. So it's probably for the best, which we know not to be true. She's just tsundere and they don't understand it. Now they do. A lot of events happen and we keep waiting for, okay, we're finally going to have this conflict that we've been expecting, right? We're going to have this fucking fight. The Witch of Yore is going to fucking come out finally, right? Well, we do get it. And the animation is... the animation is not the top quality of this show. It is the characters, it is the voice acting, it is the performance. That is what kind of you're coming here for. You're not really coming here for the flashy fight scene choreography, because the fights have been fairly underwhelming. And this fight is fine. There is a ball. We get to see Lise and Sieg, the prince and the villainess, make an entrance in their coordinated military dress uniforms. They look dashing and cool, and that's pretty fun. Also, there is a little hint in the beginning, I should say, that like Endo and Kobayashi like want to see this story conclude. Because they want a happy ending for these characters they're involved in, but also they are starting to be like aware that like playing this game, which was supposed to be like our dude like getting used to it. He got injured. He's a sports guy. He got injured, so like doing play-by-play is a way for him to like still be involved in sports. But also he likes Endo and Kobayashi like each other, and this is a good excuse for them to spend a lot of time together. What happens when the game is done? Like what becomes of their budding relationship? Like, does anything happen? We don't know yet. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. I need D9. Got to build this gun hand. Got to build our gun hand with D9. There's 2 D9s here. There they are. Great. Got them. So, yeah, the ball happens. We get to see them do things. There's an interaction between Fine and Baer about dancing that, like, in the game is probably its own subplot, but we don't really know. Also, when we talk about the fight, I should mention that, like, we don't know, like, it kind of fits with the thing that, like, we don't quite know what the action would look like in the game anyway, because we're not really sure like how they rendered action scenes in this thing. Like so it's like it kind of fits that we just see like a montage of moments. There's a little minor thing that I talked with a friend of mine today about this episode, and because we're both watching it, and I didn't even pick it up on it, and she picked up on it, which I actually think is rad. There's one of the possible suitors for the heroine is a young man that I haven't really mentioned too much about. Fabian. I haven't really talked about Fabian. Like these games, these kind of games, these otome games often have a younger character, which feels inappropriate because there are fans that want that younger character dynamic in their games. That is the thing they like. So they're there to appeal to those folks. This anime knows that because they're well aware of the tropes of the genre. So they go through pretty great pains to have this dude have a long, nice chat with another younger character, like, which would be what the fans would do. The fans would like pair them up, be like, instead of like trying to win the heroine, like this young guy should probably be with like, I don't know, what about the only other young character in this whole thing? I put these in wrong, I think, so I'm going to try to pop them out. I'm not actually sure. These are supposed to like stick out a lot, and I didn't get that right, so I think it's, let's go like this. No, that also doesn't seem to work right. I have to figure out how this works, so hold on while I do that. Anyway, the big actual unfortunate takeaway of this episode is Lieselotte still gets kidnapped and taken over by the end of it, which is an event like, and I don't know if that's like, it feels lazy because that's what the event that was supposed to happen in the game within the anime, and so to happen in this episode, like, I don't know, it felt weird. It felt a little cheap. Okay, I got these to work. I figured out how to get this in. These are now in all the way, and then I can just do the same this direction, and this should work out just fine. So it is it's a little frustrating to me that they included the kind of like obvious event to just like, oh, no matter what, it still happened. But it might resolve in the next 2 weeks that, well, you know, she was taken over in the original version of the game because of the, you know, feelings that she was just dead and sad inside, but she's not now. So maybe the witch doesn't have good control over her. Also, there is the like other dude in the reality who has some influence over the game that we have not seen in a bit, and maybe he actually is less than a red herring, because right now he just feels like a red herring. Maybe he has actually something to contribute to what's going on here. I don't know. But like I said, it did feel like a bit of a cop-out to have it still happen. 2 more episodes left. Interested in seeing what happens there. Anything else in this? Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it doesn't look good. It's not like as bad as the dragon in... I got caught up on. I've been watching The Strongest Exorcist. I stopped watching it weekly because it's still enjoyable to watch. I still can find some fun in it. But they have a dragon in there that's CGI that doesn't fit with the rest of the anime in such a way that is very fucking obvious and kind of awful to look at. So luckily the dragon is done. Like, that was just a couple episodes. We're also now almost caught up with the manga at this point in the anime. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there. But I'm just like, nah. This looks ugly as shit. All right, we got one arm done. We have an arm and some guns. We're not going to finish this tonight, but we're going to get pretty far in it. That's Endo and Kobayashi Live. It's a hard anime to describe, which is why I kind of do my overviews and not like minute to minute. But it is a show that I'm glad exists, and it is a interesting take on Otome games, and I appreciate that. And I also like want the characters to end up with. I want good things for them, and that's a nice feeling to like want that like to work out. I want things to work out for them, so I hope they do. Farming life in another world. We got more stuff. Like a bunch of shit is happening here. Things are fucking happening. Things are moving along. Flowerum is really important in this episode. She is the daughter of one of the generals for the Demon Lord. And Yuri, the Demon Lord's daughter, has been there. Flowerum learns that Yuri's like trying to set up uh, is trying to like invade or figure out a way to invade, but she realizes that like, oh, like I'm mad at you, but also you are being manipulated um, by three other ladies that are there. There are three other demon ladies. I didn't write their name down. So Yuri's army gets defeated, but not killed by the Lamia girls, which is great because they're fun characters. We don't see a lot because they don't live in the village. So they take care of business secretly because we want to make sure that like we don't have our guy find out, Hikaru, for political reasons, because otherwise, like then they have to retaliate. But if the fight is just taken care of, it without him knowing, totally okay. Yuri and the idiots is what I called them. Yeah, Yuri and those girls who didn't understand the situation are going to work as an apology and as a punishment. And they try to escape. The trio, the dummies try to escape, but of course they're foiled by the wolves and spiders. They are going to start doing, the three of them end up helping out with paperwork. They become the town hall trio. So they're just doing some busy work in there, which is still important stuff. Yuri starts to understand what the village is like and why people are there, and she starts regretting wanting to invade it. And then she heads home. And the trio decide to stay because they were involved in like politics and they're not good at it. So they were just like, we have like a job and we have like, there's a lot of other different races here that seem cool. And like, I'm paraphrasing, of course. And we are not really cut out for the life that we were leading before this. So what if instead of that, we just stayed here? So they just end up sticking around, which is like smart of them. The king is like confused. The demon lord is confused about like his daughter and like what's going on there. And he's like, does she have like a boyfriend or something? Most likely she's just kind of enamored with Hikaru. Hey, more elves show up. They're mountain elves this time. And they use fire magic to make pottery. And that's fun. But also, we got more elves. The trio they want in on the action. They try to seduce Hikaru. And that plan gets thwarted. They do not succeed in their attempts. A dungeon is discovered where there's another bloody viper, and the elves want to hunt it because apparently eating that meat will increase their chances of becoming pregnant. And speaking of that, Rue, our first character, our very first character in the whole thing, who's been around since the beginning. She's the first girl in the village. She ends up bedridden. And then Senna is like, I'm pretty sure that she is pregnant. So we might have our first child in the village. It has been heavily implied that they've been getting together. But it has not been outright said that they were hooking up. But it's, again, heavily implied that those characters were romantically connected. So it looks like we're getting our first child in the village. Of course, a lot of the elves also want that to happen with them because that's how they continue the species, is to have basically, if you were an elf and you sleep with a race, you have an elf. So that just continues that. So they're just looking to get stuff going. Again, it is there's a lot of harem aspects to this show, but it's not even really played for laughs. It's played for like, he's just like, what? Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I did want to get married, so okay. It's mostly just played for like confusion more than anything else, and resignation that he's just like, yep, all right, well, that's probably happening. That is Farming Life in Another World. Still very easily watchable show. And then one of the better action series, I would say, like this season, my favorite action is Bufri is looking really good. There's they clearly spent a lot of money on the fight animation in the fight scenes in Bufri. That's looking really nice. The second season of Misfit Demon King Academy, looking pretty solid. Some rough stuff, but mostly solid. And then Chillin in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army looks so fucking good in its fight scenes because it goes episodes without any fighting. That when it does come into fighting, it is top tier. It is a very enjoyable anime for that, if that's what you're looking for. Again, I'm one episode behind on this because I didn't start this right away. I just didn't watch the first episode. Now I'm a week behind. So Daryl has now met the former hero, the one that injured his father, which now he knows his adopted father. But the man that injured his father, Allenzer, is here, and Allenzer doesn't seem to be the bloodthirsty warrior that Daryl remembers. Daryl never actually faced him. Daryl's father, Gran Verza, always went and like handled it as the acting leader of the Demon King army. He always took on, and so they always fought together. Daryl is kind of freaked out because, hey, here's the guy that kept fighting the army of the family, my family. So freaked out at that. Also, there's a demon just there. Zabantes is there. So, like, that's scary because we got the former hero. And, let's see. So we got, he plans to resume Rady's training, the new hero, but finds out Daryl has been training her. So he's just like, all right, well, like, let's spar. And Daryl's worried about that. Because Daryl doesn't want to fight, and this dude is way too fucking intense. This dude is so fucking intense. Allenzer tries to kill Zabantes, and he's just like, hey, just so you know, peaceful demons, totally welcome here. No, you hate that. That's fine. Because Daryl is clearly stronger than the current hero, or the former hero is just like, hey, I want you to become the new hero. We'll go fuck up all these demons, and we'll take care of business. She's like, no. And there's a fight, and the fight is fucking good. Allenzer ends up injuring him because Daryl is so focused on helping his friend that he, and also like there's his family's around, and like he doesn't want to fight, even beyond the fact that he has demons that he, there's members of his family. He also doesn't just want to hurt people. That's his thing. And he talks about that. How he is fighting this fight and all his fights, and he's selfish. He acknowledges, no, I'm being selfish right now. I don't want to see people get hurt, and I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt people that I care about and find out they got hurt. I want everyone to be okay, and I know that is incredibly selfish. And I am being selfish right now. But that is the truth. We find out that Daryl's, what he thought to be his half-brother, who turns out to be, he's just adopted brother, hasn't left his room in a year because he's just not great. Gransfra wants to his son to be fired, and the Demon King, the actual top guy, is just like, that's just because you love your other son. You're not even by blood, your other son more. He's like, no, I love both my sons, but I need to be more involved, and this can't continue. Apparently, the Demon King knew this entire time where Daryl was, so Gran Verza shows up at the end, but not before the revelation that many people watching this probably saw coming. I knew because I was read the manga, but also they telegraph it. The hero can use all of the different human like magics, and Daryl can too, and that is because Daryl is Alanzir's son, a demon, the water demon. The water demon killed Alanzir's wife and kidnapped his son because Daryl is just like, I was raised by demons. That's why I want to protect them, because I know there are good, peace-loving demons, because I was raised by some of them. So I don't want to just slaughter all of them for no good reason, like you apparently want me to. And then the reveal happens. We get the reveal that you probably could see coming, but yeah. So Daryl, the son of the hero, has been raised by the demons, but he is a good guy. He's a good guy raised by demons, which is probably should be good proof that not all demons are awful, right? Because because of course they're not all awful. The fight was really good, and even though the reveal felt pretty obvious, it's still a good reveal. And the fighting was really strong, and we got a couple more episodes left to figure that shit out and see what happens there. So I'm loving it. This is one of my favorite. This is surprisingly one of my favorite shows for a manga that I read, but I didn't have a strong connection to that manga as I was reading it. It has fucking grown on me. There's just something about this shit that I've been really into. So yeah. Put these in. Somehow I managed to put these in wrong again. It's got to go in like this. And then if it goes in like that, it can pop through. I love that I did it wrong. After fucking it up before, I just went ahead and fucked it up again. And that is the anime that I have been watching. I will, of course, have more anime and some manga to talk to you about on Monday. For Manga Monday. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. You know what? I'll do that right now. I'm going to look right now at my manga list and see what I have to talk about from my manga list. And I will make that decision here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I got that. Yeah. Guess what? It's a postmodern isekai. It's not one of those I'm a weird animal isekais. It is the other category of postmodern isekai, which is the post-isekai. What happens when you are back in the real world and you have powers that you had when you were in the fantasy world? It's one of those. So we'll be talking about that on Monday. That'll be good. What I'd like to talk about right now is I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you enjoying right now? What's got you going? What you excited about? What do you want to tell me about? Are you listening to anything cool? And I will tell you that I finished the Midgar pack in Power Wash Simulator. The last stage is the Airbuster. So it's back in the same place where we power washed the Sentinel. It's the Airbuster. It does move around a little bit. It did not move around as much as the Sentinel. His head moves a little bit. There are more things to open on the Airbuster. You can open up the chest a little bit, which is cool. And you can open up part of the waist, and that's really neat. And you can lower the back turrets to clean those. It was not, after the fucking scale model, this was not as hard to power wash, certainly. And it was neat. It was a neat thing to do. But I finished that up, and now I have nothing to power wash, because I don't know. They have stuff that's come on the pipeline at some point. They have done polls about things that are going to be in there. I don't know when those are going to come out. I would love to power wash more, but right now, looks like I'm done power washing for the immediate future. No more power washing streams. which is a shame because I enjoy it. All right. Lord Crashton says, fun fact, today is the 15th anniversary of Giant Bomb's first official episode. So not the arrow pointing down or whatever they were calling that. It was just Jeff and Ryan getting a podcast out there. The actual official Bombcast, 15 years old. Nice. Happy anniversary, Giant Bombcast. I don't listen as much. I watch some stuff. I think I get into a game. The thing I think I watch the most these days is Game Mess. But I don't really listen to the podcast that much anymore. And I do get in for some dump truck action. Watch the video of dump truck. But yeah, I don't listen to as much podcast in general. And then also, I am a moderator for the Discord and the Twitch of Jeff Gersman, who also records a podcast on Tuesday. So I am in there doing that, and so I don't, watch it live or whatever. So I could listen to it later. I just don't. Let's see. Arctic Sloth is getting started on Yakuza 4 tonight. Finally finished Ishin a little bit ago. Hell yeah. Enjoy. I fucking really love Yakuza 4. I think Yakuza 4 rules. All right, so all we have left to build is some cannons. We got enough time. Let's finish the cannons up. Even if we finish early, if we stay late, we stay late. If we finish early, we finish early. But let's finish this kit. We are finishing the fight tonight. I didn't think we would be done with this, but it looks like we are going to get done with it. So we'll do that. There's not a lot left to do here, so we can get in there and finish this all up. So yeah, Yakuza 4 rules. Mr. Bob says, oh my god, I love this kit. I do too, Mr. Bob. This early type is so fun. This weird nonsense. I'm really enjoying this kit. This has been a fun build. Also, hi, Mr. Bob. Welcome. Arctic Sloth, I hope you enjoy Yakuza 4. It's a good Yakuza game. It's a real good Yakuza game. So I hope you have a good time with it. John says, Octopath Traveler 2 and Paper Mario are going to be my games for a bit. Hell yeah, both great choices. Almost done with 008 War in the Pocket, and I think we're watching F91 next. Okay. War in the Pocket, I think, is a very solid Gundam series. F91, I don't think I ever finished F91. I think I started it on at least one occasion, and I don't remember if I ever actually finished that particular series. But good luck to you. I hope you figure that you have fun with that. All right, so this is 7. So I have to see what is this 7? Yeah, that's 7. So these are 7. And this is 11. So okay, great. Finish up. Oh, sorry. I guess new Fortnite season is fun. Great, and John, I hope you're having a great time with your Fortnite. Ghost Valve, finish up the Power Wash Sim packs back to Elden. Getting in that Elden Rang. Oh, you're watching the mall and release order. Okay, totally. Jump into Dead Cells with the new Castlevania pack. Yeah, Ghost Valve. I would say take a look, because it seems some people were seeming to have trouble getting that going. Not that it's in there, it's finding it. Some people that I know were having some trouble finding that stuff. Apparently, it is very easy to find it, but also easy to miss it, which doesn't make sense. But apparently, it's what I'm told. A couple weeks ago, was Dan getting into some real Dan food opinions of the Bombcast and dump truck to fuck people up. Yes, I did hear the dump truck versions of that, not necessarily the Bombcast versions, and also, yeah, I mean, Dan Reichert is a performance art piece in many ways, so a lot of it used to be a thing where I'd be like, Dan, what the fuck are you? And then it's kind of now just like yeah, all right, Dan. I mean, sure. You know what, Dan? Fucking fine. Sure. Okay. That's the thing that you think somehow. Okay. Great. I just kind of let it roll off and back. You watched Lashbrook watched the black and white conversion of Johnny Mnemonic today, and it's excellent. Highly recommend. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. I don't necessarily think I'm going to be picking that up, but I've heard good things, so that's fun. Mr. Bob says F91 adds bad since it's basically a movie. It's hard to drop it. It starts so promising. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever really finished it. Lord Crash has been watching more Naruto Shippuden in the middle of this weird boat arc where they keep having issues with boats. Yeah, there's some boats. I don't remember a lot of the boats. It's weird. Like you saying that triggers a memory, but like what happens in there is just like no, I don't know. I think the whole Dan following into socialism without knowing anything is very funny and good. Yeah, I mean like so Dan Reichert plays a role on Giant Bomb and his home streams and everything. Dan Reichert is acting more than anyone else at Giant Bomb has ever or will ever do. With the possible exception of, no, the closest is Will Smith. Will Smith knew his role in Whiskey Media. The Whiskey Media happy hour shows, Will Smith plays an idiot. Way more than he is because he realized that was the funniest and most fun thing to do. But Dan Reichert is who he says he is, but also understands how to play that up because of wrestling. So he is playing a character. He is playing an exaggeration of himself more than other people are. In a slight way, Vinny Caravella plays the role of Vinny Caravella in things, but no one touches Dan when it comes to playing a version of themselves. And I would say the other end of that spectrum is Abby Russell played a version of herself which is not her turned up, it's her turned down, and it's very guarded and careful. That version of Abby Russell that we saw is a piece of Abby Russell. It is not an exaggeration of a part of Abby Russell. It is a reduction of Abby Russell, of who she is as an actual person and performer. She is playing a version of Abby Russell. She's playing a more nuanced version. Despite his love of action movies, Dan is playing the theater version of Dan Reichert, or the easily that he would appreciate. He is playing the independent wrestler version of him, whereas Abby Russell played the movie version of Abby Russell. It's a much more grounded and small performance. Vinny's dance foil in some ways. And then Austin Walker would have podcast Austin, and then he would have the closest you get to Austin playing himself at 10, 11, 15, turning the volume up on Austin would be the Kerbal Space Program ones, because it is Alex is playing the role of the enabler. He is enabling the action, and the voice of reason falls to Austin, where Austin has to be Austin is giggling on the inside, but for the series to work the way it's supposed to, he has to, or he chooses to, be the guy being like, Vinny, no, Vinny, no, even though inside he is giggling. Also been watching History of the World Part 2 on Hulu, which has some nice bits, lots of Nick Kroll. Oh, that sounds fun. Have not watched that. Did I cancel my Hulu? It hasn't been a month yet, but I don't know if I actually canceled Hulu. Hold on. I'm doing that right now. I got Hulu so that I could record my clip of Difficult People that I was in, and I don't remember if I have actually canceled. I mean, obviously, it just won't reoccur. Well, yeah, I have to. What the hell? I have my password. All right, it won't let me log in with the password I have in there, which is fun. So that's very fun. So I'm going to do that after the stream. Like I said, I do not remember if I have canceled that And guess what, folks? I don't want to continue to have Hulu. Turns out I don't want Hulu, so I have to go in and cancel that. I still want to watch the new season of Bleach, which I can do on Hulu, but I haven't done that yet. But I believe it's still within the month because because I did it in the end of February so that I could have that for the February 28th stream. So I signed up sometime in February, and I just have to go in and make sure that I have canceled that because I do not want to pay for that monthly. I do not want Hulu, but I do want to watch Bleach, so I'll do that. I like watching. I like rewatching the contradiction playthrough where Vinny fucks up turning on subtitles and Austin just starts cackling. Yes, Austin is there for the ride for a lot of that because that is what what it requires. What is required of him. Austin understood the assignment. Not everybody understands the assignment. Mr. Bob says, I got a Hulu Disney package because I couldn't use my credit card travel bonuses. Ah, that makes sense. So you use it on that. Okay. Yeah, I just don't have a real inclination of what I want to do with it. When my folks eventually my folks plan on getting, cutting the cord, and they're going to get Hulu, the Hulu TV package, and then I will use their login to do stuff because that would be a fine thing for me to do. All right, so this got to go into this. It's got to go in like this. Why aren't you going in? You have to slide into that. This slides in there. Oh, because that was the wrong thing. I was like, why isn't this working? Because I was fucking doing it wrong. The reason why it wasn't working is because I was wrong. These all have to kind of slide in at the same time, and I don't love that. Oh, there we go. It's got like a piston here. There we go. We got our piston connected. Our piston is connected. This weapon can now raise and lower. That's fun. We got to do the same thing on the other part here, which we will. Austin enjoys when veteran producer Vinny fucks up. Totally. You don't have to cancel Hulu every few months. Nice. There's a lot of weird, and if you have the service, you get the streaming thing. My parents have Disney through Verizon. Nice. Yeah. There's a few things I wouldn't mind watching on Disney, and I think that when they get the live TV package, they will get some stuff that I will also use, but I have no real interest in that. I do, like I said, I do need to make time. It's not tomorrow. Tomorrow is not the day that I watch Bleach. There is going to be a day where I watch a bunch of the new season of Bleach, the new arc anyway. There is going to come a time where I will watch that. It just won't be now, tomorrow, because tomorrow I want to play some Persona 4 Golden with mods to prep for Tuesday's stream. I have decided that tomorrow is the day that I will do a bunch of that prep. Because I want to get ready for that stream. I want to move on, but I want to have Yuki in the party. Maybe we'll get into I'll do some social links, but right now, since we saved Yuki, I have to do a bunch of stuff in game until the day that she would normally die in there. Because we beat the dungeon in the first attempt at being in the dungeon. So now I need to go and figure all that stuff out. So I gotta dive through that game and play it a little bit. I'm gonna be doing some grinding. Also, I want Yuki to be in the party, and then I can go in and edit my save file and give her some cool weapons and abilities. But to do that, I have to have to play the game to do that. I think this is actually a lot easier. Doing this before you put this together on the sides actually makes a lot more sense. Oops. He says, fucking it up. I don't know. This does feel right. More right. There we go. But yeah, I don't have like a real reason to keep Hulu. So like I said, I'm going to go and make sure I get my login right. Figure out why it says forgotten password. I think it's probably saving it on a different, it's like probably like Firefox has like my old password from my old Hulu account saved or something like that, I'm assuming. All right, I'm done with these. These are done. Not much left here, just the barrels and then assembly. And this kit will be done. We're gonna, if we go over a little 11, we go over a little 11, but this shouldn't take too long to do. 14 and 13 here. There's not much left of this kit to put together here. And then the final assembly, and then we'll be finished this. Like I said, I didn't think necessarily we'd finish it tonight. I thought we'd be finishing on Monday, but it looks like Monday we'll be starting a new kit, which means that I will have a poll out for my $10 patrons tomorrow about what I should start on Monday. I'm going to put a Lego set on the list because I have a small Lego set. It should actually be a pretty quick build. It's not a 3-in-1. It's just a Lego set. I just haven't. I kind of want to do a Lego. I want to at least give the option of a Lego. I don't know if people are going to pick that or not, but I'm going to give them the option to pick that up because it's nice to give people options. We'll see if it ends up being the thing that people want me to build. And I'll put some model kits up. Some recent addition. I'm going to put a recent addition to my backlog, a kit that I've had in my backlog for a very long time, and a Lego set. I think that is a nice way to have some options in there. Oh yeah, so then the gun here can raise up or it can be lower. That's one of the gimmicks, is this gun can raise and lower and these can pop out. But we're almost done here with this. Almost completed this kit. Mr. Bob says, I had a chat with a local hobby shop and I got them to buy a bunch of kits and then they bought a ton of Pokemon kits. Nice. I hope that works out, Mr. Bob. I could see those Pokemon kits are a great introduction. Like the stickers aren't as super fun in some instances, not every instance, but some instances those stickers are not particularly fun. But the kits themselves look great, and the quick Pokemon kits I think are really fun. I hope that people check that out and start getting some kits. And I'm glad your hobby shop listened to you. It's nice when hobby shops listen to their customers. You like the Gardevoir Sir Knight kit. Nice, yeah. I mean, like, the Lucario and Rolu kit I thought was really fun. That was a very cute, fun kit to put together that I had a good time doing that. Those can be fun. The Rayquaza kit fucking rules. That's just like a great kit to put together. So, yeah. Some of the Pokemon kits are very fun. I've never done the big fish. What fish is that? There's a big fish. It's the dumb fish that only knows Splash, but then somehow if you power level it becomes a Gyarados. Anyway, there's the giant version of that. Magikarp. Thank you, Lashbrook. I said it before you wrote it, but I appreciate you writing that. Yeah, Magikarp. There's a giant Magikarp kit. Like, it's a huge model kit. Someday I'll get that kit. I don't know when, but someday. And this is it. We're done with this fucking thing. I'll turn it up here so you can see. This kit is wild looking. It is silly in a way that I really appreciate. Let's put it right there. These spring up, then it can go down. What a fun, goofy kit. You could clear the Lord of the Rings kit. Oh, yeah. I heard Lucy mention on Dump Truck that she got a huge Lord of the Rings Lego kit. Okay, that's fun. Big Lego sets are fun. They're a nightmare, but they are fun. They're sometimes a fun nightmare. So this is done. We finished this kit. I'm going to take a photo of it. Then we're going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream, of course, is we go on a raid. Ooh, I sold an item on the community marketplace. I sold like one of those whatever weird things you get at Steam. And people collect for some reason. Why do people collect those? I don't know, but I make a few pennies every time they do. All right, so I'm gonna do a photo like this. And I'll do a photo. Yeah, like that. And then we'll do a photo from the side, so you can see how cool it looks. All right, and that's our kit. That was a fun build. I enjoyed working on the Guntank. I am going to pull out some high grades tomorrow. I will post photos on the Discord and on my Twitter because I am going to see what this, if I can put different torsos on the Guntank. I don't know if I can put a different thing on the stand there. So I am going to try that out because that sounds fun and silly. So I'm going to give that a go, and I'll post photos on the Discord and on Twitter, like I said. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to find somebody doing cool stuff in there. Sticky tack, if it doesn't. Yeah, sure. We always end with a raid, indeed. We're going to find somebody doing cool shit out there and go and give them some love. Who should we raid? Let's see who's there. That's the song that I'll never sing again. One time only. Who is raided? Or sorry, who is streaming? We can raid. We've got a bunch of options. Got some. What's going on here? We're going to raid Becky and Frank. Becky and Frank is a duo. I don't know who is streaming on there. If it's Becky or Frank or both. I do know that someone on this channel is playing Fortnite, and they says, subathon, let's go to the cat dentist. So they're doing a subathon. He's doing a subathon right now. Frank is playing. Thank you, John, for that information. Frank is playing. We're going to raid that because Frank and Becky are great. And Fortnite is fun to watch some people who know what they're doing play. Or not. And then mostly because I had such beautiful luck with my subathon, it only makes sense to share the love and to go do that. So we're gonna raid that. Go raid Becky and Frank. I'm not saying they're good people. I'm not saying you gotta support, but you definitely can. But at the very least, let's watch and enjoy a stream. Thank you all so much for being here. On Monday, I will start a new kit, Lego War model kit. I don't know which I'm going to be building, and that's going to be fun. So come hang out for that. Please come along on this raid. Anime and manga and wrestling and all kinds of conversation coming to you on Monday. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being in chat. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.